Spawn 300 is out, and it introduces a brand new hero.
Yeah, so spoilers for that, I guess, if you haven't heard about the new characters being introduced in this issue of Spawn. You know, it's funny, like Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn, writer for most of the issues, penciler for some of the issues early on, and now penciler again in this issue for a portion of it. He is actually probably more famous now as a toy guy. Like, he has a toy company, McFarlane Toys. And it's really funny to me because there was an early Image comic that was a parody of the Image creators, and they made fun of Rob Liefeld. This is called Splitting Image. And they made fun of Rob Liefeld because in his book Youngblood, there were just too many characters, and like someone in the comic says, why are you introducing all these characters in one issue? And he says, comic, this is a toy catalog. But that honestly, like looking ahead or looking back now, that would have been a more honest assessment of Todd McFarlane, because Todd McFarlane's basically the toy guy.
So tell us about these characters.
Yeah, so I mean, that's all preface to say that I really think that Todd thinks about these characters now in terms of how quote-unquote toyetic they are, like how good they would be as toys. So there's a couple of existing ones. There's, of course, all the different variations of Spawn. There's like medieval Spawn, Viking Spawn, Wild West Cowboy Spawn. But now there's a brand new one. You know who this is?
I do.
Who is it?
Lady Spawn.
She Spawn.
She Spawn.
Exactly right.
Gal Spawn.
Yes, so up to this point in history, like, what would we say the most famous female version of a superhero is? Probably She-Hulk or Supergirl. It's like one of those two.
Okay.
Well,
I'd say Wonder Woman.
Well, Wonder Woman's her own character. She's not like a version of a guy.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
So, I mean, would you probably give it to Supergirl?
Yeah, Supergirl would be more popular than She-Hulk, I would think.
At this moment.
Right.
But just wait for this Disney Plus series. But anyway, well, wait for how popular She-Spawn's going to be, I guess. We'll see. We'll see if she ends up, you know, being the sensational character find of 2019.
Is she going to be in the movie?
She kind of, it's an interesting question because she was kind of in the last movie, because this is basically an existing character. So the existing character that turns into She-Spawn is a character called Jessica Priest, who's like a sexy female assassin, a real La Femme Nikita type.
Oh, your favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. And I haven't read, by any means, I haven't read all the issues of Spawn, but I read a decent portion of them. And back in the 90s, like the original killer of Al Simmons, the guy who goes to hell and becomes Spawn and then comes back because he loves his wife, very sweet. He was killed by a Rob Liefeld character named Chapel, who was a member of Youngblood. But when they made the original Spawn movie, they changed it because it was like, you know, Youngblood was owned by a different guy, so they made it all under the McFarlane name. So they changed it to this character, Jessica Priest. So as far as I know, it's still canon that she's the one who killed Al Simmons. But in this issue, it says now, like just in the narration, that she's going to help Al Simmons.
Oh.
Like she turns into She-Spawn. She's got a great bike, great mask, great outfit, and who knows where we go from here, but apparently she's going to be on the side of the angels, or on the side of the Hellspawn, I guess.
So, babe, if you died and went to hell, would you come back for me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That'd be the reason to come back for sure. Although, what makes you think I'm going there?
Well, I don't know.
I've lived a noble life. This was always some of the fascinating things about Spawn, like the story. To me, is part of it is like Todd named all these characters after like loved ones and friends. So he named Wanda, Al Simmons' love, his wife, after his actual wife, Wanda, which I guess is a sweet gesture, right?
Sure.
But on the other hand, like maybe kind of disturbing, like, hey, I wrote this character and a Hellspawn comes back to be with her. How would you respond to that?
I don't know. I'm sure she was flattered.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's already used to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've made it work for sure. Like they've had an incredibly successful relationship. God, I don't know how many kids, but they all went off to great success of their own. And you know, one of the nice things that I read about Todd McFarlane, that people who have worked for him have told me, they'd back this up, that he's always had a really good work-life balance. Like when it's 5 o'clock, he goes home. He goes to be with his family, which is incredibly impressive for someone who's had, you know, such incredible success. in the entertainment industry, which you know is like kind of go, go, go.
Right.
You always got to be thinking about something. So what do you think it took to get to 300 issues of any comic? Like, what sort of perseverance does that speak to?
Oh, I'm sure. But, the way that he speaks and the way that he thinks, even if he has a good work-life balance as far as his time goes, his mind is always generating ideas and money.
If only my mind was generating more money. It's always you're right, he's always going in a bunch of different directions. We've seen him speak at several different conventions, and he gives like great presentations, great lectures, but it doesn't seem to me that there's like a lot of advanced prep put into them. I think he's really just speaking extemporaneously. He's like speaking off the cuff.
Right.
But he's good at it. It works. So he's got great energy.
Yes, he does.
So I was talking a bit about, some of the things that I think have been lacking in Spawn, like over the years, is I probably would have read all 300 issues if it was Todd writing and drawing it himself. But ever since, he really just did the first 15 issues and then came back for another couple of issues and a couple of different anniversary issues. But mostly, like, since issue 25, roughly, he has hired other people to do the art on Spawn.
Oh.
And it's been, to me, in my eyes, varying degrees of success. Like, I really like, say, Greg Capullo, who we've also seen speak with Todd at a convention doing a presentation together. And he's great work, but even after about 100 issues, another guy came on, Angel Medina, and then after him, some other guys. And the most recent guy, I think he does good work. I mean, it's impressive.
Who is the most recent guy?
Jason Sean Alexander, but he does more of like a horror style. It's not quite photorealistic, but it's got kind of a Clive Barker sort of bent to it in my eyes. It's very spooky, and frankly, it's too spooky for me.
Oh no.
I know that the basic setup of Spawn is that he's from hell, but I like it to be more superhero oriented, honestly.
It's just lines on paper. You're okay.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you for reminding me. But that was one of the great strengths of, again, in my eyes, this issue, number 300, is he brought back all the best. So Jason Sean Alexander has a chapter in here. It's good, but there's also, in my opinion, even better stuff. Like Todd comes back to pencil for the first time since I think issue 50.
Oh, wow.
And like on paper too, because he switched to digital years ago. He still does. We've seen him like on YouTube, like do sketches on his Wacom or Wacom tablet.
Uh-huh.
And it's cool, but like not to me. I mean, you can tell I'm drawing right here. Nothing beats the lines on paper. Like I like the real deal. Mm-hmm. So it was awesome to see Todd do that. And even for the chapters he didn't pencil, he was inking the other artist.
Oh, cool.
So there was a longer chapter with Greg Capullo on art coming back, and Todd inked that. And there was my favorite chapter, the She-Spawn chapter, with art by J. Scott Campbell, who we've never met, but you've seen his work before.
Uh-huh.
And you like it? Good stuff?
So who was inking Todd's pencils?
I think it was just him. I think he did pencils and inks.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure about that. The interesting thing there was he came back and he wrote most of the issue, but he left the scripting duties to Scott Snyder on the chapter that he penciled and inked himself.
We've met Scott Snyder, haven't we?
I don't think we have, but he worked on, maybe we have, but he worked on Batman with Greg Capullo. It's possible we did see them at the same convention. But if we did, we didn't talk to him for very long.
Okay.
But he's great. Like that Batman run is a lot of fun, but it's really there. I think there's a lot of notoriety that comes with that, with being like the only comic book writer in like 2+ decades that Todd McFarlane penciled your script. And I mean, that's really one for the record books.
Yeah.
There's got to be, I don't know. I would think there's a lot of other writers who were jealous of that. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the jealousy in me. But it would have been incredible. Again, as good as this was, it would have been more incredible for me if, say, Alan Moore had come back and written a Spawn script. Because he has before. Like, he wrote Spawn issue 8 and 37 and did the Violator miniseries. So to have him back would have been incredible. But we can only have so many good things in our lives.
So do you think that this Spawn 300 had any Easter eggs for what the film's going to be? was there anything that's going to translate into the movie that's being made?
It's funny you say that. I would have to say no, because there was actually a curious absence. Like, the detective characters, Sam and Twitch, are not in this issue at all. And I don't know if they're just gone, because again, I haven't read a lot of the issues leading up to this. Like, I dropped in for 300. I was trying to see what's going on. But those detectives I know are supposed to be in the movie. Like, Jeremy Renner is attached to play Twitch, the detective in the movie.
Okay.
Or at least last time I checked he was. But other than that, I don't know. It's funny also that you say Easter eggs, because Todd traditionally is known for drawing a Felix the cat in every comic book that he draws, or he did back in the day. Because there was one fan who came up to him and said, "I love Felix the cat. I would buy any comic that Felix the cat was in." And Todd was like, "Well, I would always know I'd have one extra sale based on that guy." And I was like, "Well, that's smart. That's big brain. That's big brain thinking right there."
Yeah.
But again, I want to go out on this. I want to talk, just emphasize again, you can see like me doing my version of She Spawn based on art by J. Scott Campbell. I just think it was incredible that Todd was able to get 9 sequential pages out of Campbell, because that's like the most he's done in probably just as long as it's been since Todd's been. Well, he did some books like Wildsiders in 2007 or so.
Uh-huh.
But since then, like, he's mostly done like lithographs and covers, just like illustration pieces. But to get 9 pages out of him, like for instance, like he did a Mary Jane page in Marvel Comics 1000 last week.
Uh-huh.
1 page.
Right.
He did a Gen 13 page, and that was the title that made him famous in the 90s. And even for that, like for the 25th anniversary, he did 2 pages. So to get 9 pages for a comic he was never really even associated with, I was like, I don't know if like Todd backed up a Brinks truck full of money to his house or what, but like, it's incredible. He got blood from a stone, essentially. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I strongly recommend 2 thumbs up for Spawn 300. But, unfortunately, I'm not going to keep coming back unless they keep bringing back the artist I want to see. So 301 does have Capullo and McFarlane again. I'll be back for that. But 302, no promises. We'll see. But, that's really all I have to say about Spawn. Any other final thoughts, honey?
Well, if you're a bigger fan than we are of Spawn, and you spotted some things in the comics that you want to let us know about, let us know in the comments below. Also, be sure to like this video if you liked it, and let us know why you liked it.
Yeah.
And if you really like us, what can they do?
They can tap the bell for additional notifications, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Every little bit helps, and we love the feedback. Also, if you're an artist, remember the only way to become a better artist and end up on the roster for Spawn 400 is to draw every day. Keep getting better every day. So until next time, artists, keep drawing.